You can fly anywhere. Why go back? You got a family? Got a boyfriend? Cute boyfriend?
None of your business, that's why.
I have a lot of women to thank for getting me to where I am today, in a position to make decisions that affect a lot of the women that I work with today. The fact that I can sit in a meeting and say, I think the protagonist should be a woman. The media tends to go after the statistics on women directing and women writing, but it's really more to do with women getting involved and getting jobs in all aspects of the entertainment industry. And all of a sudden I was like, I turned to my husband, I said, look, there are no women. And there are still no women. I don't know if that's because of the roster system, not, again, providing those opportunities for women. Alarming number of women that are just not able to get those jobs. 50% of our executive team are women, and the majority of the people involved in the development of those stories are women. I don't have a lot of women who call and have those conversations.
The women. How much for the women?
There were a lot of companies that were in place who, frankly, didn't initially feel that Star Wars was for girls. With Star Wars, we have to change this. We have to make sure that we create products that are, in a sense, appealing to both boys and girls. What's wrong with that? And women who have been, their careers have been shaped in some way by Star Wars.
It's been 10 years, players. Ain't hindsight a bitch? If you're rewatching it all, The Force Awakens get worse every time.
This deal is getting worse all the time.
Because now all you know the bullshit that came after. Because now you know you a toxic fan. Because now you know the Force is female and Anakin ain't the only one born without a father. Because now you know Luke Skywalker is a bitch. Because now you know Disney weaponized the most beloved sci-fi franchise in history like a content enema hose and sprayed it directly into our gaping rectums.
I'm all the Jedi.
And after 10 years, you think this fool's gonna save Star Wars?
Because you go into it understanding how deeply emotional the connection with audiences is. Now, you could argue that's true of Marvel, that's true of other franchises, but nothing is as religious an allegiance as Star Wars.
The name sucks and you all should know better by now. Stop haggling hope.
Unreal.
Because the House of Mouse is a bunch of lies.
Pinky promise.
When The Force Awakens dropped, Disney proudly announced they were reviving Star Wars and promised the film would bring hope, joy, and fresh adventure back to the galaxy.
This will begin to make things right.
Instead, they gave us Star Wars -1. Not Episode 7, not a continuation, not a bold new chapter.
So it's big.
A negative, a regression, a reboot pretending to be a sequel while erasing everything that mattered.
It's all true.
Let's drop some science on how these fools managed to take a cultural phenomenon, a multi-generational mythology, and turn it into bantha fodder.
We now can bantha podo.
Before I give The Force Awakens a kick in the ass from a leg and a boot, let's check out where George Lucas left Star Wars before Disney bought it and pimped it out like Jennifer Connelly's Dignity in Requiem for a Dream. Ass to ass, players. Because once Disney showed up, so did the double dogs wearing mouse ears. When The Phantom Menace dropped in '99, it hit my generation like a bowcaster to the chest. Oh hell no, more like this. We spent a decade whining like George Lucas personally broke into our childhood bedrooms and replaced our toys with Jar Jar action figures. And yet, while our generation was writing angry posts in all caps on AOL, a new army of tiny fans was quietly mutating in the shadows. Kids who thought pod racing was peak cinema, clone troopers were dope, battle droids were hilarious, and Ewan McGregor was a religious experience.
Hello there.
They grew up loving characters we all hated, quoting lines, and carrying the franchise like little fandom batless babies. These kids didn't see ruined childhoods, they saw their first fandom. Now I ain't pretending they weren't a hot mess. Peanuts! to vagina. They had CGI that aged like a banana left in the sun. Anakin delivering lines like he allergic to emotions, people, and sand. Galactic politics explained like C-SPAN fanfiction. And midichlorians introduced like George Lucas was trying to get fired from his own franchise. But here's the thing, Flapjacks. Behind all the chunky dialogue and green screen purgatory, the prequel still had actual world building, original ideas, mythic ambition, new planets, new characters, new iconography, and cultural impact that still echoes today. George swung big. Sometimes he hit the ball, sometimes he hit the cameraman, but he swung. By the time Revenge of the Sith wrapped, Star Wars had reached a weird equilibrium. Not thriving, not dying, chilling at zero. The world was ready for more, or at least open to the idea. The prequels were flawed, chaotic, and occasionally embarrassing, but they were full of soul, full of imagination, full of George Lucas's weird, stubborn brilliance. Star Wars wasn't perfect, but Star Wars was still alive. In 2012, Disney buys Lucasfilm and the shovels start digging. They step onto the scene promising to honor the past, and by honor, they dump the EU into a mass grave labeled Legends. 30-year canon, gone. Characters, history, continuity, gone. The entire post-Return of the Jedi fucking timeline, gone. Fucking gone. Disney didn't reboot Star Wars, they reset it like a malfunctioning droid. They erased the galaxy so dramatically the ultimate power in the universe of the Death Star looked subtle by comparison. Disney said it was necessary to streamline the story, but we'll pick its bones and regurgitate it into your baby bird beaks when it serves our purpose. And so begins the era of Star Wars -1. Instead of building on the existing universe, Disney nukes it and plants a plastic tree on the crater. When a new trilogy was announced, fans was off the chain. There were a whole mess of theories before the flick came out. My favorites was the Luke Han floating in space bullshit, which might have been legit because this wrinkly-ass blind toad says,
Where'd you get that?
A good question. For another time.
After seeing the abysmal Star Trek Wrath of Khan remake, I thought that maybe it would start out the same way. Begin the movie with the original cast and a fun, unrelated adventure? Holy shit, I couldn't have been more wrong. Instead, we get what goes down in cinema history as the worst decision ever made. We never see Han, Luke, and Leia together. Ever. Again. Disney pretended to save Star Wars and instead recreated New Hope so shamelessly that even the Xerox machine was like, hell no, that's a ditto duplicate you can sniff after it's printed. Not as crisp or as clear as the original. If you saw The Phantom Menace in theaters, then you know when the crawl gets its groove on it can make or break the film. For true gangsters out there, The Last Jedi was the only Disney Star Wars to use the traditional typeface for its crawl. Damn, Jar Jar, you couldn't look that shit up online? The hell's this, by the way?
Dumbass!
Anyways, these particular words explain that Luke Skywalker has vanished, which we learned later means that the most hopeful dude in the galaxy who was too legit to quit. Because one student went emo. Whatever happened to No Child Left Behind, player? Oh, and Leia is a general.
Excuse me, Princess. General, sorry.
Poe Dameron appears looking like a bootleg Han Solo manufactured in a Chilean warehouse.
Poe is more of a Poe.
Yeah?
Yeah, Poe is his own guy.
He retrieves a map to Luke from my man Max Van Sydow. So the galaxy's greatest Jedi stored his location on a flash drive. The First Order attacks led by this fool.
Your puny lasers mean nothing to me.
Hold on.
We meet Finn, a stormtrooper who suddenly realizes mass murder is, not cool, man. Disney later forgets he exists because Finn is trash.
There is no fight against the First Order. Not one we can win.
Peeps complain about shrinking his ass on the China poster.
Did you see that?
But my man Chewie needs some representation. Finn helps Poe escape, and Poe gives him a name like he's adopted a puppy.
FN2187. What? That's the only name they ever gave me. Well, I ain't using it. FN, huh? Finn, I'm gonna call you Finn, is that alright?
So what's your name anyway? Chewbacca? Alright, well, you're gonna need a nickname, because I ain't saying that every time.
named after the dog?
Got a lot of fond memories of that dog. Ready?
Hell nah, Junior. The world ain't ready for Rey. She survives by ganking other people's shit for parts, which is also Disney's business model. This should have been a sled ride at Galaxy's Edge. Rey is the nobody who's secretly everybody because Disney refused to say that she is Skywalker. Until later, when they say something infinitely stupider. She saves BB-8 and unknowingly inserts herself into a galaxy-scale droid hunt. This is the inciting incident, and it's one of the few organic story beats in the film. The ruckus starts when Peep's wanting to steal BB-8 for scraps, even though there's a perfectly good AT-AT laying out in the desert that no one cares about. Finn tries to help, and now the First Order ain't only chasing a droid, they chasing a First Order deserter, a scavenger, and a MacGuffin. Let's throw some fire on that wood, Flapjacks. Rey and Finn escape in the Millennium Falcon. Not a ship, but a nostalgia host that Disney sprays us with non-stop. Han and Chewbacca show up looking like they back from a weekend bender at Canto Bight. Han's no longer a rogue with growth. He's a reset character whose off-screen failures exist solely to justify reboot logic. He explains that Luke bailed out like Bob Iger right before COVID, and Leia leads a rebellion again. The past was undone so the movie could exist. They end up at Maz Kanata's castle bar because Han can't be bothered. This place is supposed to be a safe haven.
Han Solo!
Fuck it, the Rathar's out of the cage now.
Close your eyes. Feel it.
First Order shows up.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Kylo rescues Rey from Kanata Island.
She's fainted.
Just like a woman.
And from there, the rest is loud PBR can recital. The First Order now has a bigger Death Star that eats suns. Look at this bullshit, man. You know Juju was one of those damn kids you had over once who insisted on trashing your shit. Unlike Obi-Wan, Han dies to create emotional weight for a movie that spent 2 hours avoiding emotion. Like Obi-Wan, Kylo Ren loses a duel he should absolutely win.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
Another hologram? Hell yeah, Snoke got his game on though. Go suck a dick, Lord Vader. Pee-wee ass bitch. Another trench run. Another explosion. The movie ends with Rey handing Luke his lightsaber, and Luke reacting not like a mythic hero, but like a man who realized his franchise is being strip-mined.
No matter. That clumsy oaf has served his purpose.
How did Disney fuck up Star Wars so badly? Because The Force Awakens dropped at a point in the timeline when Hollywood went from storytelling to corporate hormone replacement therapy on intellectual property. And they them had the beef curtains to blame the fans for not appreciating their bold creative vision when we called them out. How the hell did we get here?
Whatever you do, don't stare.
At what?
Any of it.
Let's start with Mad Max Fury Road, which dropped in May of 2015. The film that Hollywood treated like a sacred feminist artifact, even though it made about as much box office cash as Terminator Genesis, a movie only remembered by people who accidentally bought the Blu-ray at a gas station. Here's the wild part. Director George Miller openly said he consulted Eve Ensler, the creator of the Vagina monologues, to help shape the emotional and thematic framework of Furiosa's arc. Wait, what? Could someone please explain to me why the directors I dug as a kid somehow turned into low-T weirdos?
What I saw that blew me away was Emilia Perez.
And here's the wilder part. Hollywood saw this and completely lost their baby skull soft spot minds. They took Fury Road's artistic consultation and turned it into a corporate scripture.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Never mind that Fury Road was a lightning-in-a-bottle miracle of filmmaking driven by a 7-year-old mad genius. Never mind that it barely made money. Never mind that Charlize Theron's character worked because she was written well. After Force Awakens, Ghostbusters 2016 offered a template of how studios can weaponize identity as a marketing shield. When that film's marketing returned backlash, the defense was swift and predictable. Critics were motivated by prejudice, not by the film's actual failings. The lesson Hollywood internalized was toxic. If your product was weak, bury criticism under moral denunciation. They watched Ghostbusters 2016 crash into the pavement like a flaming marshmallow and said,
Excellent.
let's repeat this strategy for the next decade. Marvel arrives late for the party in 2019, sees the bonfire and adds gasoline. Enter Captain Marvel. It was a scheduled corporate organism, engineered to slot between Infinity War and Endgame to ensure maximum attendance. You could have put a sock puppet in that release window and it would have crossed 1 billion. It had nothing to do with messaging, nothing to do with creativity, nothing to do with story. It was real estate, not resonance. And suddenly, every studio in town was chasing this Fury Road Ghostbusters Captain Marvel pipeline like it was the missing page of the Dead Sea Scrolls. So here we are. A whole 10 trips around the sun since The Force Awakens landed in theaters, blasted over $2 billion out the box office, and convinced Disney they were visionary storytellers instead of nostalgic pickpockets with a merchandising addiction. And what's happening now? Nothing. Happy 10th anniversary, Force Awakens. A decade later, the only thing you awakened was the realization that Disney had no idea what it was doing. Oh yeah, it ain't over, motherfuckers.
You unhealthy people can cast a big shadow on the wall, but over the past 4 years, I've met lots of real fellow Star Wars fans. We like and dislike stuff, but we do it with humor, love, and respect. We're the vast majority, we're having fun.
Wow, now it's very delicate. A long time, yeah. So I have a sharp...
Shut up.
That's bad.
Do you still have the pen?
Okay. Now is when we hear a muffled shot and a body falling. Gentlemen.
Hey, here's your pen.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Movie Math, where, wow, what a cluster indeed. What went wrong? What didn't go wrong?
Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey in the new installments, deleted her account in 2016 after facing criticism when she posted on gun control.
I just wanted to ask you about The Last Jedi. I mean, obviously the movie came out and there's been so much written about it, and obviously certain things have happened with the fans and things with Kelly Marie Tran and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your reaction?
Allowed, like it or dislike it, you know, you can do whatever you want. The stuff with Kelly was like bullshit. That's a different thing
I'm
altogether.
going to praise you one more time then, because I thought what you did after Episode 9 was a lot like what you did in the park that day in London when you said, I'm going to quote you, what I say to Disney is, do not market a black character as important and then push them aside. I feel like they heard you.
Yeah, no, but as they should.
I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world.
Of Moses Ingram, who's in this Obi-Wan series, and so much racism thrown at her. But Disney was there. They had a plan.
Which tweet was it, or what did you say that got you fired?
I think the final straw was the Holocaust tweet.
The infamous tweet.
The infamous tweet.
Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children, because history is edited.
Disney was there. They had a plan.
I want to ask you both, because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself?
Star Wars. Not the
It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
Okay, faggot, what's next?
The Star Wars fan base really seems to be the most kind of toxic at the moment. I'm probably being very controversial to say that.
She's a powerful leader. Yes.
Disney was there. They had a plan.
And when you display honor, and I guess what I mean by that is when do you decide to utilize discipline to not engage in a reactive way to hatred? And so I dropped the diss track.
That's what I heard. As one fool, you'll never defeat me. Wait until those fools see what I have in store for them.
Watch out! Run!
Blundering fool, chew on this!
May the Force be with you.
Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself.
There are no lightsabers in your show. There's no the Force. The Force is not with you at all.
Well, now wait a second. I mean, there's no Jedi's around, but
No
the Force
Jedis?
is with me even now. I mean,
Even right now?
yeah,
Does it spread to others, or is it
Yes.
limited to you?
it depends.
It
depends. It depends who you voted for.
I'm very intimately involved in them, and obviously to
And
sell
you
them off.
sold them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and.
But having said all that.
Hey man, if you down, like and subscribe. Catch you on the flip side, flapjacks.